Yeah, the Westside Gunn stuff is it's interesting because um he's one of those people that I've never felt like he's doing any of this for a look. I've never felt like,
Mm.
he wants to be there for clout. He wants to be there just so they put him on TV. He's there because he wants to be there. I mean, he was just at Blood and Guts yesterday.
Mhm.
Um,
Mhm.
and I don't think he's like, okay, the AEW better put me on TV. I think it got to a point with him where he was there so much, and then, like he said in his tweet, they started sitting people next to him and then putting them on TV, and he's just like, "Well, wait
Right.
a minute, I'm here all the time. Why do y'all never acknowledge me? But y'all acknowledge everybody else that come here. Y'all put all these other people on the show. Y'all show all these other people love." And I think that that's a big part of this. That he's shown that company so much love, and it's never truly been reciprocated.
At all. Like his whole thing is dedicated to giving it up to not just pro wrestling, but WWE specifically. Like he's using
Mhm.
WWE pictures, WWE audio clips. He's like at the shows all the time. And like you said, Phil, he's not like shoot me on this thing. A lot of the times he was going as a fan, not taking pictures,
Yes.
not posting it on the internet. Dude could leave a show and be like, these are all the things that I enjoyed during the show, like as a legit fan. And all the time he's gave it up to WWE. It's just because he loves it so much. And so I can understand why he's felt disrespected, like he was describing. He was at all these events, front row for hundreds of events, it feels like at this point. For like 4 years straight, this guy would just go to a wrestling show, be in the front row. He's at the front row of WrestleMania. Like he's giving these people a lot of money. And I don't even feel like he's like, you owe me something, but it's like, show me some kind of love. And then for him to get kicked out of a show after showing that much love, it's insane for somebody that, like Phil said, only is trying to give it up to them.
Yeah. For context, if you guys haven't seen, Westside Gunn recently tweeted a video of him getting kicked out of Raw, and then he also put up the new cover for the Hills Have Eyes trilogy, where it used to be like a Sid cover for one of them, or it's the Sid cover for
Yep.
Still Praying.
No, they switched that one too.
Regardless, he had like a oh really?
Yeah, the Sid,
Oh,
they
okay.
switched
Well, yeah,
the
he
still
he had
praying
this.
and the Virgil one.
Okay, so yeah, he had the Virgil cover. He had a Million Dollar Man on one. But they were all, basically what we know of Westside Gunn. If you've been a fan of him at at any point in his career, he's always been a big wrestling fan. He's always referenced wrestling heavily in his music. He's used clips from matches. He's used audio, all kinds of things. I mean, I think about Jimmy Hart at the end of the one song, like I heard your rap song, Westside. We love you, baby. Um, and so he's always been giving it up. It has
Yeah.
never felt like a put on. It's always felt like he legitimately loves wrestling. And I think hip hop has always been in this place. Well, it's changed a bit now, but for a very long time, hip hop has shown a lot of love to pro wrestling, and it hasn't always been reciprocated. And so I could see why that's part of this. And the other part is in hip hop, uh, you know, paying homage to something has always been very, very sketchy because you've
Yep.
got stuff like getting samples cleared, using IPs or using material for your music, and you might not mean anything by it, but the businesses or these corporations behind these things are like, well, we own that. You can't just use it. And so
Mhm.
I've seen quite a bit of people saying like he should have known better. You can't just use their IP for an album cover. You can't just use their IP in your music without getting it cleared. Yes, but hip hop, once you get into litigation, it gets kind of funky and like, you know, rappers are just looking at it like if I'm just doing it for the love, what's the problem?
Right.
And I think that that's how he's looking at it. I don't think he's looking at it like, okay, well they have every right to sue me and make me take this down. I think he's like, well, what's the issue here? The wrestler himself is telling me he loved the cover, and I have connections with other people that don't have an issue with this. Why is it a problem? And more specifically, why is it a problem now? And that's part of
Yes.
what I kind of look at it. This kind of strange because he's been doing this for a very long time,
Years
and
at this point.
I know that there was a story with him and the referee, and that turned into a thing, and that's when some of the issue came with his music and the licensing and him getting some of
That
these
ring announcer
copyright
guy
strikes.
too. What was his name? Greg something something. One of the WWE ring announcers wanted his
That's
sample taken
yeah,
off of the record.
that's what it was. I
Mhm,
sorry, I said referee, ring announcer,
mhm,
because I
mhm.
think that was the Undertaker Goldberg record he wanted
Yep,
his
yep.
soundbite taken off of.
Mhm,
And that kind of felt like the start of it. There was also the incident where he was at NXT when he had been saying for a long time, they don't show me no love. And then Parker Bordeaux was there. That was when Parker was Harlan.
mhm.
And he was a part of that segment, and then that got taken off of WWE social media. You cannot find it anywhere on YouTube. And then all of a sudden he started getting the copyright strikes. I don't think it's a coincidence that in all of this, he started doing things with other companies and they started
Mhm.
inviting him in. Um, he started working with TNA more. You can see his music directly on TNA. Everything he does was fourth rope. He clearly has like some kind of partnership or situation with TNA. And then
Right.
even with AEW, he's been on AEW programming. He had the Daniel Garcia entrant. He was at All In. He was a part of that entrant. He was a part of the Wembley entrance with Swerve as well. And just the way WWE usually does things, yeah, you can be on our radar and you can come here all this time and we might not give you acknowledgement, but we know you're here. Maybe we're just waiting for you to make a call or something for us to formally invite you in. I don't know. But once you go over there, it's revoked. We don't want you over here no more
Boom.
because
Easy as that.
you're supposed to be exclusive to us. And this is what I was trying to get people to understand when I kept saying they knew what they were doing with the Meg situation with Mercedes,
Mhm.
because Mercedes said that she wanted to work with Meg, and she said that publicly. There were talks, and then all of a sudden, they used the Meg record as the opening for SmackDown. And
Mhm.
at the time, I was like, they know what they're doing because the second a rapper or a celebrity starts working with them, they expect you to only work with us. When you talk about wanting to
Right.
be a wrestling fan and being ingratiated in with wrestling, that means us. And if you go over there, that's cool, have fun, but you can't come back.
Mhm.
And I think for a lot of people, we've seen that where they're worried about, you know, going and doing something in wrestling. And if it's not linked to them, then your privileges over here might be revoked. I don't want to make somebody over there mad and then they start doing petty things.
Mhm. That's exactly what it feels like happened with Gunn. Like he started moving beyond the WWE stuff, and they were like, "Well, actually, give me all this stuff back then."
Yeah. And so I think there's something to that. Just
Yeah,
the timing of it is interesting because he had been going to shows for years and it was
so
never a
long.
problem.
Yep.
Like he said, he just had the viral clip of him talking about how much he spent on the box seats for WrestleMania this year.
Mhm.
And that was Rosenberg was in that clip. And so
Yep.
I I don't know. I think that there's more to it than we know. Obviously, I can't speak to why they kicked him out. I don't know the specific reasons. I can't speak to why all of a sudden they decided, to start sending him copyright strikes and cease and desist. But the timing is interesting. The other piece of this that I don't think bodes well for WWE is they continue to alienate their core fan base. And I think if you're looking at it like, all right, they're pricing their fans out and it's feeling more and more like this isn't for us. And you can even add the Saudi WrestleMania to that. Like this
Mhm.
isn't for us. Bro, Westside Gunn doesn't feel like just any celebrity that's paying $5,000 or whatever to come to these shows. He's a guy that's always there and he's a real fan. If you don't want real fans there, that can afford it, and you don't want real fans there that can't
That can
afford it, who
afford
do you
it.
want there?
Yes. Right. Right.
Who who do you want there? And I think that that's how some of his fan base is now looking at it since he said that, like, yo, this is crazy. If they don't want you there, then what's up? Like, and I think they're upsetting a lot of their fan base that way. It's not all of them, but I do think that more and more they're alienating some of their fan base.
I seen way too many responses, Phil, that were like, "We only like them because of you, Gunn, or you introduced us to this, or we're only here because of what you're saying." So if you take that aspect away, you're going to lose a lot. We just talked about it on maybe the last podcast or a couple podcasts ago about how every show we go to, every time wrestling is mentioned now, is Hills Have Eyes merch, it's Westside Gun stuff. So like he's in here. He
Yep.
doesn't even need your guys' little promotion or push after this. So it's gonna start to look away.
Yeah. Yeah. I constantly see fourth rope merch now. But yeah, I think there's something to that, and I know people will go, well, he didn't single handedly make wrestling cool again. He was a part of it.
Big reason.
Because it's a different with Wale, for example, because you know, Wale is cool. We know Wale is cool. But also Wale also has like he's a fan of other nerdy things,
Yes.
right? Like
Mm-hmm.
he plays Switch, like he
Mm-hmm.
likes video games, like even the way he
Mm-hmm.
talks, it's different than most rappers. West
And
Side Gun is
Wale's not
different.
like
This is
a cocaine rapper, you know?
that's what I was getting to.
Mm-hmm.
Westside Gun is different. Westside Gun is a street dude.
Yeah.
And in some circles, it's like, yeah, that's nerdy. Wrestling is nerdy, it's corny. And for him to be the guy that's like, even Tacoma Rio's tweet, like, I'm still like into this at my age because I've always loved wrestling. I think that there's a part of trying to get other people that felt that way about wrestling growing up and saying, like, it's okay to still enjoy this. And I do think
Yep.
a lot of people were taking that lead from him. And I think it would
Mm-hmm.
be I think that it would be unfair to him, and I think that it would be silly to try to discount that.
Yes.
But people definitely will try, and I've already seen people saying like, "Why does this matter?" But man, he's respected. He's respected by the fans. He's respected in the industry, and you see how big this story has already gotten. Some of the outlets that this is picked up don't talk about wrestling. Double
Yes.
XL. I seen
Mm-hmm.
Wayno talking about it. Now, of course, Wayno has connections, like because Wayno is cool with Smoke Dizza, but still, like you don't usually see some of these outlets talking about this. Like I've
Mm-hmm.
seen it picked up by big outlets, and I don't think that that's the kind of PR that WWE wants because they want the opposite. They want celebrities to be in the mix. They've shown you that they're inviting celebrities in the mix.
Yeah, I saw a bunch of hip hop outlets that I've never seen mention wrestling one day in my life be like, WWE disrespected Westside Gun. And I'm like, damn, this is crazy. I didn't know it was going to expand out of the wrestling bubble so quickly because just like Phil's saying, this guy's respected. Like what is attached to Westside Gun things people are interested in. And a lot of people were tuned into wrestling because of what he did. So if he comes out and like, hey, the biggest wrestling company disrespected me, it's going to gain some traction.
Yes, I just like I said, I don't think it looks well, and I also don't think it looks well because the energy around WWE
Mm-hmm.
in the last 3 years of like that quote from Triple H, if we don't see color, again, if you don't want him there and he can pay there to be there, I don't know. I've always had this feeling about rappers, like they respect rappers as celebrities, and that's why they want Travis and bigger rappers than Westside Gunn to be there because Westside Gunn is a big rapper, but he's not a celebrity.
Right.
Travis is a celebrity.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what it is. I don't think they've ever had respect for hip hop culture or the music or any of that. They fuck with celebrities. And
Right.
I think that that's why that's part of the reason why they would rather have Travis or Wale or some of these other people there and not Westside Gunn because they have a bigger foothold in pop culture than he does.
Right. Because Westside Gun's not a fucking Grammy award winning, multi platinum selling rapper. He's amazing in his space and I love everything that he does,
Yeah,
but he's not a mainstream Super Bowl level rapper.
he's an underground rapper.
Yes.
I mean, he's probably one of the most popular underground rappers we've seen in quite a while, but he's still an underground rapper.
Definitely. That's it. Regardless of anything, still an underground rapper.
And when it comes to corporations and when you're as big as WWE is, it's what is your value to me? And they just don't see the value in him. And especially when you're over there giving it up with other companies. Okay, if
Right.
that's what it is, then you don't need us, right? Like, because you're on TV over there. So why you over here?
And
Stay
now
over there then.
they honestly might think he's competition because they think everybody's competition because he has his own promotion.
Exactly. And if you think that they don't see it that way, that they're not petty that way, when the last time you seen Snoop over there on AEW?
That one time he did the damn splash 5 years ago.
And it makes a whole lot more sense for him to be over there now because Mercedes is there.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
But you're not because he's a Hall of Famer over here. And I thought we had a relationship. I thought you were cool over here.
It's all about what the look gonna look like. It's crazy, man. Fuck.
Yeah, they try to incentivize these things, and that's just what it is. And I just don't think they ever really. I don't think they ever fucked with Westside Gunn as hard as he fucked with them.
That's
Unfortunately,
it. That's what the real story is.
and I think Wayno made a very good point about how in hip hop and a lot of things with black men, when we get to a certain point where we have money, I mean, just think about like how much I talk about shoes. Like when I was growing up, I had one pair of shoes. My mom was like, "That's the pair of shoes you're gonna get. That's it." But when I got older and I could just buy what I want because I like shoes, I buy them. The same thing with comics and any other hobby. When you find something you love and you want to, continue to indulge as an older person, you want to continue to indulge in hobbies, you want to feel like you're wanted, like you want to feel like you're accepted in. And I feel like Westside Gunn wants to feel like he's accepted into the wrestling community, and to be accepted so heavily by like TNA, GCW, AEW, and all these other spaces, and the biggest company in this industry is like, nah, get out. It looks crazy.
It does.
It looks crazy, and I think that that's part of this. And I know that there's a certain amount of entitlement to it, but I think it's because when you love something, the way that he's clearly shown he loves wrestling, he just wants to be accepted in. And I don't think that they've ever really opened the door for him and accepted him in like some of the wrestlers over there have. The company has never showed him that kind of love.
And I think that's why Fourth Rope exists right now, because he knew that they were never going to show him love, so he had to do his own thing. And that's what wrestling is for a lot of. It's honestly a black wrestling thing. There's black wrestling companies that exist right now because they didn't think they were going to get their fair shake at a different one.
Yeah, definitely.
It's life.
Shout out to Ashe. That's why Ashe exists.
Big shout out to Ashe.